Hey guys, Brian and Roxanne here with Primitive Strength. We're both Strong First Level 1 certified kettlebell instructors, and today we're going to go over some proper squat mechanics and then how to do a proper goblet squat. We'll look at some of the things that can go wrong, some of the things you want to watch out for, and how to correct those. First off, you want to make sure that you're cleared for exercise. You want to make sure that your student is nice and warm and that they at least have proper squat mechanics. They know how to do a body weight squat first off. So I'm going to ask my student, Roxanne, to show us a couple of her body weight squats. I'm just going to check and make sure everything looks all right. Heels are on the ground, knees are tracking the toes, chest stays up. And if you'll turn to the side and show us a couple more. Everything looks good there. If she was having trouble with that squat, if she was leaning too far forward, if the heels were coming off the ground, I'm going to regress and go back to a couple other things. Number one, being a face-to-the-wall squat is extremely effective on helping people really keep that back straight, keep the chest up, heels down. But her squat looks good, so we're going to move on from there. With the goblet squat, with any squat, you want to make sure that you're using the hip flexors to pull yourself down into the bottom of that squat and not just drop down into the squat. So the first thing I would have my student do when I'm showing them this move, we're going to find those hip flexors, and then we're going to keep our hands right there, and I'm going to instruct the student to pull themselves back down into another squat, and I want them to feel what that feels like to pull themselves down into that squat. So go ahead and do a couple for us. And you will feel those hip flexors tighten up when done properly. Very good. Okay. So next, I'm going to have her safely pick the bell up. Okay. We're going to be holding it by the horns. We're going to keep it away from the chest. To go down to a goblet squat, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to pull ourselves down. I want her to take her elbow, put it into the vastus medialis. That's that teardrop muscle right on the inside of the knee. She's going to push the knees out. The heels stay down on the ground. Knees are tracking the toes. I've got a nice long spine. Neck is neutral. This is a proper bottom position of the goblet squat. Now for her to get out of this, I want her to take a big breath in and initiate the movement by saying up, full body tension, and driving out of the bottom of the squat with the glutes. Notice that the hips and the shoulders are moving at the same time. Heels are staying down. Show us a couple more facing. She's pulling herself down. Nice long spine. Good. Okay, now a couple things that can go wrong with that. The knees not tracking the toes. That is really bad for the knees. You're going to lose a lot of torque production. When you go down, if the knees collapse in, it's going to make the squat feel horrible. Really bad for the knees, so you want to make sure that you push the knees out, that they're always tracking the toes, and that they remain tracking the toes when you're standing back up. We also do not want to see the hips rise before the shoulders. I'm going to have Roxanne show us one that is wrong. Okay, we definitely want to avoid the hips coming up first. We want the hips and the shoulders to move at the exact same time. We want to stay away from the knees collapsing in. That's where we're going to drive those elbows in, push the knees out, and keep on pushing out like you've got somebody holding their fist up against your leg and you're trying to push up against their fist. So we want to keep those knees out, tracking the toes. Rounded back, we want to stay away from that. If this happens, I'm going to tell my student to get long and tall. Nice, long, tall spine, neutral neck. She's in a good position now. Come on. Another. Very good. And that is your basic goblet squat. If you have any problems with that, you can get a hold of one of us. You can find your local SFG instructor or a certified FMS instructor. Don't hesitate to seek out a professional, someone that knows what they're doing. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to call us at Primitive Strength or check us out on the web at www.primitivestrengthama or go check out strongfirst.com.